Let's bring Robert on because looking at the rest of this year, all right, it's mid to late February now. We have primaries coming up. And one of I guess let's even back up. It's 2021. The whole Antifa, so-called anti-fascist movement, opposition to Trump and opposition to, I guess, street-based opposition to the Trump movement is over. It's 2021. These groups are tired, and they're tired of going out every night and rioting. A lot of that stuff started to trail off in 2020. I think Portland dropped off in 2021. And all of a sudden, all these Antifa affinity groups across the country start to atrophy because there is no Trump quote-unquote threat anymore. And one thing that I've seen out of especially these Antifa, the anarchist, left-wing anarchist types, and the real radical revolutionary types, the people who want to overthrow capitalism, they want to overthrow the government. It's not just a Trump thing. They're abolitionists. They want to abolish police. They want to abolish government at all levels. What I get from them is a lot of them are still tired. I don't see them have the sense of urgency required to push them back out into the street for successive nights of rioting, even just riots over the weekend, which is not to say that we couldn't see kind of weekend riots based on something that happens locally, like police-involved shootings. But what I'm getting from this year is I don't see another 2020 that's likely to happen, at least not yet. Baseline, I think we're going to see 2016 replayed, where we do have low-level street-based political violence. And that's also not to say that another repeat of 2020 is impossible. But just what I'm getting is right now, there's not a sense of urgency to push them back out into the streets, mass participation. However, by July, we should see a sense of urgency begin to return to a lot of these far left groups. With that, Robert, you say there's been a guide to targeting data centers released by some anarchist groups. So what's going on?
That's right. So this guide, what it's designed to do is give radical anarchists the tradecraft and tools to geolocate government data centers by pinging the IP address of government websites, gathering domain registration information, and then tracing the route of data across networks. And it's designed to help them locate these centers, I think, likely for direct actions like vandalism and arson that we've seen against other government resources, like especially police vehicles, in the Cop City development in Atlanta. And I think the release of this guide hints that radical anarchists could soon start targeting data centers in addition to their current targets, like the police vehicles, and in San Francisco, where we saw them target the Waymo self-driving cars that they explicitly called out as roving police surveillance cameras. And like you said, I agree that right now there isn't really a sense of urgency and there's not really a center of gravity, but I think as we get closer to the election, we might start seeing some of these things happen more often, especially after the Republican convention and if it looks like Trump is on the path to a general election victory.
Mm-hmm.